And we are live.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Move this microphone closer to my face.
Let me kill the music.
Please don't stop the music.
I have nothing but that good quality music. That's, I guess, what's the term? Copyright compliant. I don't know.
Oh. Yeah.
I got permission.
No way I was going to guess that.
Yeah, no way. What's going on, guys? Episode 12. Been a long time.
It's been a minute.
It's been a while.
In a minute.
First one of the year.
Legit, the last time we recorded was right before the Marvel or the Disney earnings call that had their projections for the next 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Because that was when all the Star Wars and Marvel stuff got announced, and we were like, we got to talk about that. And then holidays, and then never came back.
Well,
now we're back. We in this bitch.
Yeah, man. And I guess we get right into it and just start talking about our shit.
Well, obviously, you're talking about WandaVision.
It's literally all over the
screen. How the fuck else are we going to talk about anything else? And also, it's already all over the screen, exactly.
It's literally all over the screen.
That's cool, man. I should have pop up at the bottom. That looks cool.
I should have said we're going to talk about, like, something. I should have said something else.
Mundane.
Obviously, we're going to be talking about Moana.
Godzilla versus Kong.
You know what? We should do a Godzilla episode. I know, like, we like to freestyle.
We should.
Let's do a Godzilla episode.
Did you guys see that meme picture they changed Godzilla versus Kong to Godzilla versus Dimitrescu, the tall woman from the Resident Evil demo that's driving people nuts? So it's Godzilla swimming and then like this 3,000-foot tall woman in the skyline in New York.
Can I get real dark real quick?
Sure.
The lady who's in that trailer, she did a few of the characters and she wasn't the tall lady. But there was another lady with blood on her face.
The other one. Mm-hmm.
She passed.
She did die.
Literally, like last week.
Yep.
So.
Huge bummer.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Start the show off on a very positive.
We're talking about WandaVision. Show's dark as fuck.
Who else died, guys?
My joy.
Security. Okay.
What? You're gonna actually list somebody else?
So yeah, WandaVision. We've been talking about WandaVision in different formats for the last month. If it's episode 4, 3 weeks, last 3 weeks. So this is something that we can talk about. I can talk about very easily because I've been staying up every Thursday night to 2 a.m. to watch.
Deep in that shit.
I've seen every episode 2 or 3 times. And I don't think I definitely didn't do Mandalorian like that. I did Mandalorian some episodes. If it was really good, I watched it twice.
Sure.
But WandaVision has me.
Episode so nice, you watch it twice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think this is the most flushed out that we've ever gotten characters in the MCU.
It's definitely the most complex characterization that the MCU's done. Like, none of this is, like, obvious at all, right? Like, you watch an episode, you're like, the fuck? And then you watch another episode, and you're like, the fuck? And then you watch another episode, you're like, okay, I kind of got it. But then it ends, and you're like, the fuck?
It's not as bad as Lost, right? Like, at the end of every Lost episode, like, what the fuck did I just watch? But there is a bit of mystery, which makes, I think it makes it interesting. It's just more like a comic book mystery thriller.
You know, I think they did it in a slightly different way, where it's not just like it's layered, right? There's multiple reasons why it's weird. It's weird because it wants you to know it's weird, like the beekeeper guy, you know, and the fact that she could rewind time, and some props on the screen are in color and stuff like that. But then the characters start to realize things are weird. So there's that. But then also, like, what the hell is this? Like, this is so far a departure from everything Marvel's done that it's just weird to watch. So, like, it's even weird. It's like 3 different levels of weird.
Yeah.
And you know, I think it had people fooled in the beginning, especially the first 3 episodes, right? Had people fooled, like, is this it? You know? Like, especially after the second one, when not much changed. The only thing you got in the second one was a quick rewind, and you're like, that's the whole episode.
And people didn't even notice that the decade switched within that second episode from the first to second.
A bunch of people missed that.
A lot of people missed that.
Well, yeah, the subtlety between Dick Van Dyke and Bewitched is pretty subtle.
Yeah, I used to love Bewitched, and I hate that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't hate it. She was awesome. Yeah, I think what people missed in the first 3 episodes was actually watching a show, knowing the players, and then using their own mind and comprehension to figure out what's really being said. And I think they were just waiting for, like, a lot of people were just waiting for action. Like, where's the fights? Where's the blatant thing? Like, the blatancy of it all. But it wasn't. It was very hidden. It was very layered. But every line, and I said, maybe after the second viewing on episode 1 and 2, did I realize that every single line had a purpose and a point, and like nothing was tongue in cheek. I saw a comment on Twitter that really boiled my blood and said, "Yeah, the first 2 episodes are tongue in cheek." No, the fuck it's not. It's probably some of their best writing, honestly.
It makes me super excited for Loki and Falcon and Winter Soldier and Hawkeye. Like, this is so well put together that, like, all right, let's go. Let's see what happens.
I mean, you have, like, if you look at the list of Disney Plus shows, this it has to get you excited. It literally has to, dude.
Yeah.
Like, there's a War Machine show coming up. There's a She-Hulk show coming up.
The Armor Wars. That's right.
And they just announced that James Rhodes will be in Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Falcon. Am I saying that right?
Yeah. Falcon Winter Soldier.
Falcon Winter Soldier. Yeah. So he's in that show. So, like, it's all interwoven, and it's going to be amazing. A lot of people have been speculating on what's going to happen with WandaVision. Like, there's definitely rumors of a big cameo coming up, like a huge one.
Let's talk about our, like, let's get the conversation truly started with our first, like, personal theory. And it doesn't have to be personal in that, like, you came up with it. I'm not gonna, like, judge you if you're like, I read this and I'm 100% on board. But what is your personal theory? What's your first personal theory you want to throw out about the show?
My first personal theory is that Wanda is losing her mind. So my theory's changed, because at first viewing, I thought, oh, she's being controlled. But then I this past
because Jimmy over the radio was like, "Who's doing this to you?" Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's probably a misdirect a little bit.
A little bit, I think. Right.
Sure.
And it would still be cool if she is being controlled by Mephisto, which is what everyone is thinking, or someone else, which would be awesome. But also, after I read The House of M this week, she did all that herself in The House of M. If we're saying that this may possibly be The House of M,
right?
Which I'm still not sure. It could be.
Yeah. Yeah. They just like Civil War, they're going to take aspects from it.
Yeah.
Probably, and make it their own thing.
Yeah, it could be a mixture of House of M and then a mixture of there's other vision stories in which Mephisto did take control of Wanda to suck out her powers, and then he did the children thing, gave her children in this world, and he took them back, and there's a whole thing. So it's possible it could be either or. And but I'm now that I read House of M, I'm definitely leaning towards her being kind of like the next villain, which I think would be amazing.
Yeah, it's a micro theory because I don't have enough to substantiate. It's more of a hope than a theory.
She's a villain in House of M.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, all right. So there's
in House of M, she wipes mutants off the face of the planet.
Yeah.
She blanks reality, rewrites it, and then imagines Dr. Xavier or Professor Xavier out of existence.
Yeah, like much in the same vein in the show where she looks and says no. Like she kind of did that in comic books where she was just like, "Oh, this shit's going to hell. No more mutants," and like that's it. And then boom, everyone wakes up, and they went from, I think 500,000 or like worldwide like 500,000 or some insane number, maybe in the millions, to 180. To fucking 180 mutants. So like that. First of all, I'm guilty of not reading comic books as much as I should, but every time I do, I'm like, why am I not reading comic books?
Why don't I do this
fucking
more?
Time?
Yeah, sure.
Because this House of M shit is so fucking good and deep, and like there's no restrictions. Like they just like characters die, like you know what I'm saying, like, and then Wolverine's in here, and then like Luke Cage is in here. Like there's no restrictions. So like you're doing yourself a disservice by not reading the comic books if you're a fan of these characters, which we all are.
Yeah, sure. I think that my big theory right now, I have several. We'll get there. But my big theory right now is that the Marvel Universe has already confirmed that Doctor Strange is going to show up in this show.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And that comes from Spider-Man Far From Home.
Okay.
When Mysterio straight up brings up that like universes are popping into existence, and now we know where they are. Why does he say that? He's got people inside S.H.I.E.L.D., so why? Maybe he knows something. But more than that, Spider-Man looks at Nick Fury and goes, can't, like, someone else deal with this? And he's like, they're all busy. And he's like, what about Doctor Strange? And he's like, can't reach him. Far From Home takes place 9 months after Endgame. This show takes place like 3 weeks after Endgame.
Yeah.
So where the fuck was Doctor Strange? He's got to be here.
You think
He's
so?
got to be dealing with this.
Okay.
Why else would he be unavailable completely?
Right.
Well,
Well, because I mean, there's also like probably more threats that could have popped up.
yeah, there's more stories
Yeah,
to tell.
sure. But it seems weird to have these two things butt up against each other and not be kind of related.
That's true.
And we know that it's gonna feed into
Yeah.
Multiverse of Madness. So like,
There's definitely going to be something with Doctor Strange. The theories running on who the person is going to be that shows up are all over the place. I've
Sure.
seen Mephisto, of course. That was kind of the first one. The Grim Reaper was like a low-laying rumor. Lately, it's been a lot of Magneto, which would be. I would probably start. I would start.
I would
crying,
sob.
bro.
I would sob,
right?
dude.
I'm gonna
straight
start
up.
crying if Magneto, especially if it's the dude who played it in First Class. I don't know his name.
Ian McKellen or
No.
Michael Fassbender.
Fassbender. That's right, Fassbender.
Yeah.
I would throw something. Like I don't like. I'm throwing something.
Just chuck it.
Yeah.
I'm
like-
happy too because like Kim actually loves all the X-Men movies, and she's probably not looking forward to them recasting all of them.
I mean, yeah. I mean, who wouldn't,
Yeah.
right? I'm not, except for Wolverine. Like, because they can keep the Storm. Like, they 100% can keep this young Storm.
Imagine that cast in a solid movie. That's all
Oh,
I'm saying.
dude, the Jean Grey.
Right.
So,
right.
The girl, I forgot her name from Game of
Sophie
Thrones.
Sophie Turner?
Yes, Sophie Turner.
Yeah.
She'd be a great Jean
She's
Grey.
great. Yeah.
The Nightcrawler would be great. I like him.
yep.
The only person
Oh.
I think you have to change is possibly Cyclops, because I just don't feel like that dude's solid enough. Not commanding enough.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
Wolverine, because Hugh Jackman's just too old.
Yeah, so I have a lot of questions about this show for y'all that like I got a lot of theories. I brought
I
that
do
up
too.
let's all pitch one,
got that
but
lot.
like I just want to rifle them off the whole show. Ben, do you have any theories so far about what you've seen? What do you think's going on?
No, I'm pretty empty-headed when I watch a show. Big surprise, right? But I tend to just let the show happen.
WandaVision, good.
Yeah. I tend to just let the show happen to me
Yeah.
without overthinking it. Obviously, we bounced back and forth between somebody doing this to her and her doing it and like reveling in her, guilt
Mhm.
with Vision being dead and stuff like that. But I think it's going to spiral in such a crazy direction the next 5-6 episodes that I don't think anybody's going to be. Maybe some people will be close, but I think everybody's going to be pretty far off in the end.
Yeah.
So
Possibly.
just like we were about Infinity War and Endgame.
Sure.
Except
I
time travel.
think
I know Endgame
think-
was pretty cut. I think we knew between Infinity War and Endgame, everyone surmised that it's going to be time travel,
yeah.
which is kind of a
Well,
major plot
I
point.
think Infinity War took everybody by surprise
Oh yeah.
because the trailer only covered the first 15 minutes and it ended with everybody dead. So.
Dude, the kids were crying, dude. I left the theater and kids were crying, bro. I couldn't have been more happy.
Incredible.
It's just incredible. What do you guys think about Westview? So full spoilers for everybody listening to this. We're going to talk about all the things that happen in the episode.
Yeah, this
right?
is a spoiler episode. Now's the time.
Yeah, if you want to get off, we haven't said much. So
See you
get
next
off.
week. Or see
We'll
you in a couple weeks.
we'll see you next time. But from here forward, so in the last episode, we get the introduction of Monica Rambeau, which is fucking dope.
Mhm.
And then she goes out to this missing persons in giant quotations case, and arrives at Westview with the cops sitting with their butts against their car next to a sign that says Westview, and they tell her and they've told Wu before that Westview doesn't exist.
They
And
were
they're from
very
Eastview.
comfortable with the situation, by the way.
So they were.
Yeah.
They seemed completely
Oh, yeah.
nonplussed
Oh yeah.
that
Yeah.
some fuckery was going on.
You know, the first time I saw that, I was like, "Oh shit, maybe this is all apparition." Right? Like, I
Sure.
didn't pick up that that she had tricked everyone, like which in the comic books, I watched a lot of videos this week, and they were talking about how the character Wanda, Scarlet Witch, overall was just kind of a plot device moving forward, like going forward in the Marvel world. She was just a plot device. If they needed someone to do some cool shit, they'd bring her on, and they really didn't flush her out. And then with the House of M, they were trying to in the early 2000s, they were trying to like basically reset everything. And the best way to do that, to make mutants special, was to get rid of the mutants. And that's how they came up with House of M, to get rid of mutants. Like literally too many mutants, let's only keep the special ones, so like everyone walking down the street doesn't have powers. So that's why they wrote House of M. And so they took Scarlet Witch and took this character who was just basically a plot device and gave her immense power.
Yeah.
And it's really funny how it played out, because in the MCU, if you look at Scarlet Witch, she starts off only moving shit. And then she starts off fucking with people's minds. And now we're seeing powers that we didn't even know she had.
Yo, she was going to kill Thanos in Endgame.
Absolutely.
Like, undisputed. She was about to kill him.
And like, I think there was a lot of misdirection leading up to it, because they're like, oh, the Captain Marvel is the most powerful person right now. But honestly, like the way things are going in the MCU, Wanda is. She actually had the power. And it baffles my mind, like how dope this is, that she has the power to do all these things. At the same time, she convinces everyone who has any ties to this town and the 1,800 people in this town, because it's like 13 or 1,800 people in Westview. She erased the minds of everybody who knows anyone from this town.
Yo, so I got theories. I don't think Westview's real at all. So like, there's a couple of things that make me think that when they are finding the cast members in episode 4, they're finding IDs from people from all over the states. This guy is this guy from California. This guy is this guy from Brooklyn. So like, that's weird. But also,
those licenses were from Jersey though.
Sure. But also, the big thing that like catches me up is Catherine Hahn's character.
Oh yeah.
Agatha.
Yeah.
Who
not being identified yet.
Yeah, well right now she's Agnes, but everyone suspects she's Agatha of the Witch.
Right. And if that means that she's Agatha Harkness, I think Westview's not real. I think Westview's New Salem.
Well, yeah.
And it would make sense for Scarlet Witch to be in a place where Coven of Witches was.
Mm-hmm.
And it would also make sense then that like Catherine Hahn could be a bad guy. Or in some way like impacting what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe she's just there because Wanda has connected to like the residual power from when she died, however long, at the founding of New Salem in like the 1700s.
Yeah, the date that Agnes gives her, or anniversary with Ralph, is the date of like that Scarlet Witch witch thing. I don't know exactly, but it has something to do with that.
Salem witch trial.
Yes.
Yeah.
That thing. So
yeah,
that could possibly be a strong theory.
That's wild.
Do y'all think Jimmy Woo's been in the bubble?
No.
Why?
He doesn't act like it.
So
why can you feel it though? Like why?
This is right. This is my theory about that. I'm gonna keep doing that. Sorry. This most recent episode, Darcy and he try to send that message into the bubble, and it works. One, and Darcy acts like it fucking doesn't.
Well, because she didn't see the glitch. That's before the rest of the glitches. So she didn't it took her until Monica was standing right in front of her, and they reset the scene. It took her then to realize that they were glitching, because then she thought she was just tripping. Like, oh well.
Okay, sure. Okay. Well, that was me like theorizing how much influence Wanda has on people outside, because obviously she convinced those cops that the place isn't real.
Mm-hmm.
So what if she did it to Darcy too? But when Monica first shows up, there's the cop car and then the two cops. Sorry for that weird beeping. That was my dryer. There's the cop car and the two cops. And then Jimmy's car is facing out of the town, like back by the wall. How the fuck did his car get there? Unless he drove through the town.
Yeah, I don't know,
and
man.
If he drove through the town,
position.
If he drove through the town, Amanda is actually the one that pointed it out. She was like, yo, how the fuck is his car there? Like, without him having gone through it. And if he did drive through it and doesn't realize it, like, is Wanda controlling him in some way? And so he's not going to be a very reliable source of information for the next however
It's
long.
really acted like a impediment to anybody, though.
No, but neither did the cops. They were just kind of like, it's not real. You know what I mean? They just
Yeah. Still, if he's under control, he's not really doing anything.
It'd be interesting if they use that as foreshadowing. Then I'm going to literally mark this as the greatest show ever written. If they use the car being the other way as some form of foreshadowing that comes back, that would be absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I
think the show's fucking dope.
Well, yeah.
Has anybody Googled the names in TV show credits?
Mm-mm.
No, I think someone one of the new rock stars on YouTube, they did, and then nothing came up. They were just random names.
So that's not entirely true.
Oh shit.
The first episode or the second episode, the first name is Babs Digby, and I was like, that's not a real person's name, but like it's based on so whatever. I Googled it. Babs Digby, and there's now a link to this. Like someone found this.
I was talking about the real names of the
no,
actors.
the in show names in the first credits.
Oh yeah, I never. Okay, yeah, you know what? I thought about that. I thought about who like these aren't the people on the show who did the show.
Right.
Go ahead, go off.
So the first name in the first episode in the credits is a character named Babs Digby. If you Google that, you'll get a show called The Life of Riley. Right?
Okay.
The Life of Riley has two main characters. One named Babs and one named Digby. That seems like, okay, cool, they referenced a show from the 40s, right? Hold on. There's a character, the show The Life of Riley was responsible for popularizing the catchphrase, "What a revolting development this is."
Never heard that day in my life, thank God.
Okay, but that line was often reused by Ben Grimm in the original Fantastic Four comics.
That's dope. That's a dope tie-in.
Ben Grimm said it all the time. So, like, what if there's a reference to Fantastic Four in this shit that's not just like a nod?
People are saying today the astronauts lost are the Fantastic Four. When
they also brought that up.
Yeah,
because as someone who believes that no line is a throwaway line,
right?
I believe that's something.
Yeah, he brought up Lost Astronauts.
Right? Every line's intentional.
Yeah, he brought up Lost Astronauts, and I was like, is that Fantastic Four?
And like the what did Darcy say that she's picking up cosmic radiation, which is the exact same thing that that hit the Fantastic Four and gave them their powers.
Yeah, and there was foreshadowing there. She said, "Is it dangerous? Not yet." Those cosmic background radiation.
Yep.
Let me ask you guys a question. I have a question.
What if Wanda's power spikes during a solar flare, and that's like the solar flare combined with Wanda creating the same radiation and sends a double dose through that lost group of astronauts?
Yeah. Dude, if she, I would love that.
I've said this for a long time, and Tech, hold on your point. I know you've got it.
I got it. It's not going anywhere.
Okay.
Don't forget.
Real short. I've had this for a long time. I thought Wanda could introduce all our new superheroes.
Yeah, I think.
She could just write a reality.
Right.
Yeah, she has the power to. All right, so I have a question for you guys, and I'm not sure on this, and I keep getting like conflicting research information on it. Do you think the Big Bang was Thanos snapping or the actual Big Bang? Because they referenced
what?
They referenced we haven't seen the cosmic background radiation like this since the Big Bang. They said that twice in episode 4. Do you guys think they're talking about the Thanos' snap? Because that's, remember in game when Rocket was talking about there's never been an radiation energy that came like that since until the snap. Remember that part? I lost audio.
Lost you.
I'm still here.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
I hear you.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I remember that.
All right. So like I think that when talking about the Big Bang, they were talking about Thanos. I don't think they were talking about, because no one can calculate. No one can. People are saying they were talking about the original Big Bang, right at the start of the universe, but no one can have any quantifiable evidence of the energy that was dispersed in. So my question is, do you think they were talking about Thanos or Big Bang?
Don't say that. Don't say that. You're making a value judgment right now.
We can measure residual radiation from the Big Bang, can't we?
Yeah, because it's all around us. It's like in every particle in space.
But they referenced an event though. They referenced it like they referenced the Big Bang as an event, in which how would they know that cosmic background radiation was what started everything.
What I think they're saying is cosmic background radiation emanated from the Big Bang because it's measurable in density and in what do they say? Not dark space. What's it called? Like what's it called? I'm gonna look up dark space.
Dark matter? You talking about
dark matter? Is the thing? Yeah, dark matter is the thing, and then there's some component of dark matter. Anyway, but invisible. I think it is measurable. Dark energy and dark matter.
So do you guys think so I'm asking you guys. Do you think they were referencing the Big Bang, start of the galaxy, start of the universe, or Thanos?
I think it's maybe both. I think that if we're gonna be moving into a Marvel universe, it includes multiple universes. I think that it's possible that Thanos snapping and wiping out half of existence could also have happened similarly in an alternate universe that was him snapping to create existence.
Well, I wouldn't say him snapping, but remember when Wong said in Infinity War, when he was explaining to Tony Stark what the storms were, he said this is what created our galaxy, our timeline. Mm-hmm. So I guess both would be a thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, they don't say anything other than the blip when referencing the blip. So because they mentioned the blip in episode 4, the director of S.W.O.R.D. said it at least once. So Thanos snapping is referred to as the blip, not the Big Bang or whatever.
That's
so
true.
There's a differentiation.
That is true.
Yeah.
I think we might find more concrete answers to that tech in Eternals when we get it.
Yeah,
because the Eternals are immortal, and one of them is Thanos' mom.
Did you guys hear that Thanos will be in the Eternal movie?
Yeah, because one of the Eternals is his mom.
Yeah,
the guy kind of got to.
She did a shit job.
She probably holds a funeral for him. Like, oh no, I messed up.
Baby Thany.
My kid was a piece of shit.
He was a piece of shite.
Thanos the Anos. Man,
I go to your room forever.
No, man. This show's so good, man.
Why is it so good?
Because I'm a nerd.
More than enough time to write it.
Sure, right? That.
They had all this time to put it together.
But also, I went into it with a little bit of a base of knowledge, which I get that many people didn't have, which is why I've had conversations on Facebook with people that are like, it's just too, text-head, tongue-in-cheek, or my grandma who wasn't a big fan of it because she was like, it just feels like those old shows.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. I was not really over the moon crazy happy for the first 2 episodes.
Oh, wait, why not?
Dude, I was
like, this is interesting. I kind of see what they're doing. And I said it on Steve's podcast that it's gonna go crazy. This is not gonna be 8 episodes of this.
I would say
I was bored for large chunks of that 30 minutes.
So I remember watching the first one and I couldn't stop myself from smiling. I remember seeing that at one part where where Vision did something and I laughed too much and I was like, this show's got me 100% invested. And I think a big part of that was obviously everything that's happening in the first 2 episodes is absolutely not actually happening to me. As soon as it started, I was like, this is a Marvel show. These are Marvel characters that exist right now. Yeah. Wanda can't travel through time. So if this is in the 50s, someone's either doing this to her or, and I said this in one of the Facebook threads I commented in, far worse than the first theory, Wanda's so fucking depressed that Vision's dead. She's creating a reality where she gets to do all the things she wanted to do with him. Okay. And then, while I'm thinking about that, there's that moment where Vision's boss's wife is like, stop it. Yeah. Stop it. And then it turns into stop it. And it doesn't change until Wanda does something. Mm-hmm. And then when Wanda says something to Vision to tell him to stop it, then he stops it. And then time resumes as if nothing happened. Yeah. And then that was that was further enforced in episode 2 when people kept fucking saying for the children, which is alarming.
And then it's literally written everywhere throughout every scene for the children somewhere.
And there's no children in the entire fucking show.
Right.
So what are they talking about? And then at the end when she sees the beekeeper and says no, and then just rewrites the end of the episode, I was like, yeah, she's doing this. So she's controlling everything.
That one was interesting, but in the very next episode, Vision started having those doubts Okay, who the fuck is Vision and who is standing next to her having doubts? Is that her having doubts?
So
anyway, so he starts having doubts and he sits next to her on the couch, and then there's no rewind. He's just standing again.
yeah,
It's a smash cut, and
Yep.
then he just delivers the lines differently.
let me tell you why I believe the first 2 episodes are amazing. Right, the nuances in the storytelling and how it references what they've just been through. My wife with a flying saucer, my husband with an indestructible head. Right. The last time they saw each other, Wanda was fighting aliens, and Vision's head gets ripped open. Right.
Right.
She's reading a magazine article that Agnes gave her. How to treat your husband to keep your husband. That's huge, right? That's
Keep
amazing.
him alive.
Mrs. Hart to Mr. Hart, relax, honey. Let them set up their story. When he's grilling them, asking them, where are you from? Why are you supposed to be? She said, relax, honey. Let them set up their story.
Yeah.
Who talks like
That's
that?
so weird. That's so weird.
I think that's why also in episode 4, when he's talking to Herb and Agnes, remember they have that moment where they start to like, because we're all, and Herb's like, what? Don't. She's like, yeah, because we're all, and like he's sawing through the fence.
Yeah.
That's all happening in the same time Wanda's dealing with Geraldine, dealing with Monica. Well, she's dealing with Monica, so Wanda's focus on continuing this illusion has been interrupted.
I don't believe that. I don't believe she's weak enough that would be a distraction. And the reason why is because
she just gets so mad. I don't think it's weak. I think she just gets so mad she overfocuses on.
I don't think it's a matter of focus. I think she's so powerful. Keep in mind, while all this is going on, she's convinced every 13, let's say 15 for the second numbers, 1,500 people, and everyone they know that they do not exist. So I don't think her powers are that focused that she would that would have any effect on the immediate around her. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot of power to be able to do that.
So why was the guy taking a sawzall through a concrete wall?
Because I think deep down everyone knows they're not supposed to be there. The same way that in the House of M, Wolverine was the only one who realized he wasn't supposed to be, like something happened. Like he remembered everything, right? Like, he literally remembered every aspect of it, and he's trying to figure out why everything's fucked up and why everything is going this weird way. Like mutants are on top and all this blah blah blah. And he talks to Luke Cage, and Luke Cage was like, "There's this girl who's over there who just told me the exact same thing earlier today," and so she knew that this was not real. So certain people, and if this is, like I said, anything reminiscent to House of M, which is they just did on the trailer that I'm looping, they just had the bottle of wine that translates to House of M.
Yeah.
Then they are in a state in which their mind can be woken up, and perhaps seeing things like Vision flying may throw them off. They realize that this is not normal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure. The only reason I felt like that was maybe Wanda's illusion failing is because like the next thing that happens is Vision walks in and he's dead. Vision, which was fucking real
shocking.
And she's like, "Oh,
I did."
Yeah, I was like, "Why isn't he red?
His face so gray."
I was like, "Why isn't he red?" And then it showed his face, and I was like, "Oh God!"
Did you jump a little bit? Because I did jump a little bit.
Yes,
I did.
Yes.
I was like, "Oh,
oh no." So I listened to a podcast called "You Made It Weird," which is a guy named Pete Holmes from College Humor. It's great. But he had fucking Vision. Why did Paul Bettany? He had Paul Bettany on the other day, and I was like, I gotta listen to this because I'm sure they're gonna talk about WandaVision. And they did for a bit. Two of the things that he said that are really cool is that one, the first episode that had a laugh track, they had a studio audience.
Yeah,
which was dope. And two is that he said that a lot of people think that the show takes place in a recreation of the Dick Van Dyke Show, but it doesn't. It takes place in the Dick Van Dyke Show, which means that like it's just in a different part of the neighborhood you never saw while watching the Dick Van Dyke Show.
I don't believe that. That sounds like some here's why I don't believe it, right? Is like the side by side of the Brady Bunch house is inverted, which is like it's literally the exact same set. Like why would they?
Would there be two houses in the same neighborhood?
That's true.
The same interior.
That's true.
No, I was supporting your theory. Like if this house was designed almost to the stick to look like Dick Van Dyke's house.
When we went to that U City house, we lived in that U City house. The neighbor's house looked just like that, but flipped.
Yeah.
The same company built both houses.
Yeah.
and
No,
just
but
flipped
Mom's
it.
saying even the furniture is the same as Dick Van Dyke. So
I don't know. Well, also too though,
whatever.
like in the
People.
60s or 50s, there's one furniture store. There's not an IKEA. Like
Yeah.
everyone might get this furniture from the same spot. I can see that.
It's all bananas. It's all bananas.
But that's to me seems like we're gonna make this deeper after the fact. You know what I'm saying? Just like just to fuck with
Right.
people. That's what that feels like to
Maybe.
me. But that would be
Does-
super cool if it was. But there's no way.
Does Vision come to life after this, or is he gonna be dead?
So there's a trailer that shows him leaving the bubble, the NBA bubble, and he has his arm outstretched and he's screaming. And in one frame, it looks like his head is still indented. But also, it's one of those ambiguous things where it could be or it couldn't be indented. But he could still be alive because he's outside screaming out of the bubble, like he's screaming for help and falling to his knees. So would he die
So
again?
who is this?
Or would he cease to exist?
So who is this?
I think it's
Who
Vision.
is she talking to?
I think she's manipulating the Vision's fucking corpse. That's why
Corpse?
she sees it without the illusion once.
I think she's so powerful that she brought Vision back to life, which is a power that she has in the comic books. Pietro died at the hands of Magneto at the end of House of M, and if you haven't seen it, it's been out for like 18 years. That's your fault. You haven't read the comics, like it's been out for a long time. So Magneto gets mad that Pietro is the one who put Vision up to the House of M, basically, and he gets mad and kills him. And then Wanda later in comics, she brings him back to life. So she has that power.
Yeah, she can rewrite reality.
Yeah.
But does that mean because Vision can't have an Infinity Stone? Well, there's two questions then. Does Vision, when he's brought back to life, does she rematerialize an Infinity Stone? Or is he the Gray, which is Vision minus the stone, who's still sentient?
I wholeheartedly believe that you cannot destroy the Infinity Stones with the Infinity Stones. Reason being is because the Chosen One's conversation with Bruce Banner. She says, the Infinity Stones make up what you perceive as the flow of time and reality. If you move one, then you doom the reality. So when the moment that Thanos destroyed all the rings, he would have destroyed the reality.
Or doomed it.
Yeah, so I think somebody said in some other point, maybe it was in Steve's chat, that the stones are never destroyed, they're just moved.
Yeah.
So if he destroyed them, another set showed up somewhere else. Like they're eternal. They're the fabric of our universe.
Yeah, you can't destroy them with themselves. That doesn't make any sense. Because then, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I have this deep theory. I do have some theories, I suppose. I have a deep theory that, Vision, of course, survived this somehow beyond Wanda bringing him back to the point of Wakanda was pretty close to finishing the backup before they were done.
Mm-hmm.
Or he did fuse with the Power Stone. Which one was it? Reality
Stone?
The
Mind
Stone. Duh.
The one from
Which, that side note, it's kind of a sloppy MCU thing. They changed the color, like the color was blue. Like the Tesseract.
That's because they had two blues.
Yeah, like the Tesseract and I didn't like that.
What's the other one that's blue?
The Tesseract is blue and the Mind Stone was blue. It was housed in
right. Yeah. That you said Tesseract and I was like, yeah, Mind Stone was inside that. No,
so if he fused with the Mind Stone and the Mind Stone popped up somewhere else in the universe, that means Vision's now eternal somehow with some, I don't know, it's just stupid shit like that.
Yeah. Vision also exists outside of the Mind Stone for a minute.
Which Tony said, you are more than just whatever.
Yeah.
You're more than all of this. Like, you are still Vision without the stones. So, you know, I think the MCU could parse all these little details together and make Vision.
I hope they bring Vision back, but I'm not optimistic about it.
But I mean, look at Ultron, right? Ultron died a bunch of times.
Ultron can come back tomorrow.
Right.
And I'd be fine. I'd be all okay.
Legitimately, Ultron died off camera, too.
Yeah.
We don't know if Vision actually fucking killed him.
Yep. And it could have been one. Like one that they just didn't know. Like one just got away. And then maybe there's no more Jarvis.
Maybe that scene has some truth to it.
There's no Jarvis anymore. Like Jarvis scrubbing the internet's gone. And now it's Vision. Vision ain't scrubbing the internet. He's not Jarvis. Jarvis is gone. Like it's possible. And that would be the biggest. It wouldn't be the biggest, but it would be really awesome if they brought back Ultron in some capacity. Yep. But but we don't need to see it. I don't know. Only if it's like a new Avengers versus Ultron thing.
That'd be dope.
And it's James Spader still, because it has to be.
It's got to be James Spader. Yeah,
Like fuck out of here.
There's no other person who can do it at this point.
So what are your predictions tonight? What do you think is going to happen tonight? Because obviously we're going to go.
Tech, everyone's watching it tomorrow but you. And you're still watching it tomorrow. It's just going to be really late tonight.
I got to make it to 4 hours. So.
Yeah, I mean, you can make it. I have faith. Take a nap.
Nah, I can't do that. If I lay down, it's over.
Then wake up at 4 in the morning. Is that too long to wait?
Yes. Yes, I'm gonna be the first dude. Like if literally every episode I've watched at 2 a.m. and like I've tweeted about it, but not awesome. Obviously not spoilers. But
I mean, that's the best way to avoid spoilers is to be there when it drops.
That's the thing, dude. Because like the hammer's gonna drop any minute now, right? We're 4 episodes in. Yeah, it's only about 8 or 9 episodes. We're halfway. The plot is finna turn the fuck up. And the moment something crazy happens,
we're in the back half. This is episode 5 tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Fuck like, yeah. Things gonna have to start being weird.
It's about to get an end game. Like no pun intended. No pun intended. Yeah, I fucking love this show, man.
I hope they set up a lot, not just what's next, but a few other things too. Because we know they've been a lot of announcements. So I would like to see.
I don't want them to do a blanket thing. I don't want them to do like, oh, boom, it's all here now. I want it to be like, oh, shit. 5 years ago when we watched WandaVision, she did this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want it to be so like layered that like, and so ambiguous that like she did something that we don't understand until 5 years from now. That would make me happy.
And this whole thing they're doing with Wanda is dope because like this leading into Multiverse of Madness, leading into the next Spider-Man movie, which we know has fucking everyone in it, kind of opens up the ability for them to just kind of freely have cameos of people whenever, because they pop into another universe. Or another Tony Stark that's not Robert Downey Jr. or some shit. Like there's all sorts of different opportunities that this allows them to. It's the same. It's the same thing that it feels like Star Wars has done, where they're like, all right, we're done with the core storyline that got this all set up. And now we have just this giant universe full of stories, and we're like opening the faucet on that right now. WandaVision feels like that faucet getting screwed open, and then we're just going to start seeing some wild shit start happening.
Yeah. This is it. This is the next phase for Marvel. You know?
Yeah.
Laying like all the groundwork, foundation for the next 10 years or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this feels like the perfect explanation for so many things, including even like Sony wanting to make Spider-Man movies. Like, oops, Spider-Man's in a different universe for a little bit because Sony wants to make a Spider-Man movie.
Well, they had the rights to. That renegotiation that they did when we were all like, "Oh, this is a ploy, this is a trick." But the renegotiation was that Disney had to pay for movies as well, because before Sony was just paying for it, and basically Disney was getting all the accolades, the attention for it. So now that fucking Disney has to pay for it as well. Also, in the new contract, they can take Tom Holland and put him in the Sony movie. So like you can't have Tom Holland versus Venom now. Like that's actually you couldn't have that before that moment in which they said he's out. So
yeah,
which would
I thought it was Sony not paying for things.
No, I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was Sony paying.
The dispute reportedly arose over Disney's push for a 50-50 financing deal.
Okay, well, I got bad information.
So maybe Sony was like, fine, we'll pay for it, but you have to let us make movies with him. And they were like, okay. But there you go. He's in a separate universe for a second where he's dealing with suddenly Peter Parker's a bad actor. It's weird.
We know that obviously Spider-Man's in the MCU and his universe is too. Like this could set up the next Spider-Man movie, which we know is multidimensional.
No, that's right. That's it's got to.
Right.
Yeah.
There's rumors that Wanda's gonna be in that movie too.
It's wild, man. That's shit's gonna be so weird, man.
I don't think it's gonna be weird. Things gonna be so awesome, dude. Like,
is there a young black boy cast on that movie, by the way? Because if not, I don't want to. Come on.
There's rumors that they're gonna have Miles from Into the Spider-Verse in that movie, and there's going to be an animated Spider-Man next to there's rumors that they're talking with the Sony Animation Studio.
Okay, they're gonna get weird. That's gonna get weird for me. I need give me Miles Morales. Not yet though. I don't think I'm ready for him yet. I think I want a little more.
No, because most of the permutations mean that like Peter Parker's either dead, or moving on from being Spider-Man. Like, there's obviously you could do it so that they're both together, but I think it would make me happier if like Tom does 4 or 5 movies and then like meets this kid at Visions and is like, "Yo, I'm tired of doing this shit, so you can do it now." And then we get Miles.
I mean, if Spidey's off doing Avengers shit, we need somebody to stick around exclusively in Manhattan.
Yeah, but I also don't want Miles to be the neighborhood Spider-Man. I want him to be like great, like 'cause I like Miles a lot. You know.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's they can go any direction now. And I think they've. It's funny because when I was researching the House of M, and the creative director of Marvel at the time, which he still works for Marvel, I believe, they were hurting. It was coming out of the comic boom. They were hurting.
Mhm.
That's why they sold all these characters off. So like, it's all kind of like these stories that they may be telling is from the period of them realizing that we fucked up. We sold all our characters off. We got to do something to make more money and make this more make these comics more interesting, because there was a time period in which they weren't. It's just interesting how it's like coming back full circle to the stories that they used to reinvent themselves, and now they are actually getting these characters back and like making these deals, and like they have so much steam and power moving forward, and creative control and trust, because everyone trusted them. Like, even if people didn't like the first 3 episodes of WandaVision, they've built up so much trust that people are like, I'm watching. I'm gonna give it, like I'm giving this a chance. And other comic book franchises don't have that trust.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty amazing that
Right.
that we're in that position, that the true fans know how amazing this is. Right?
Yeah.
I don't want to gatekeep fandom,
And then everybody else is just along for the ride.
pretty much.
Yeah.
I was literally, there was a trend on Twitter like in last night or the night before, and they were talking about the prospect of Magneto coming into the MCU, and someone tweeted, "That's so weird. Magneto's not even their father, so why would he be there?"
What?
Yeah, that's a fan of only the movies.
That's right.
That's a fan of people who've
Like, hold
only
on.
seen
Magneto
the movies.
is Wanda and Pietro's dad. That's
100%.
What the fuck?
And even if you pay attention, fucking Quicksilver, I don't know if they named him Pietro. And
They did.
okay,
Yeah.
he was 100% his father in that. So he was the father.
Yeah.
Common sense would put that together, but people aren't. There's a
It makes
bunch of different schools and groups of people who love the comic books like us, like we're comic book nerds, and we either now or then fucking love comic books, and we know the history from the comic books. There's people who just only know Robert Downey Jr. and Hugh Jackman, and like
Sure.
the old guy who plays Magneto. Like they probably don't know Ian McKellen's name, but like
Sure.
Sir Ian McKellen. I apologize, but you know what I'm saying.
I would be equally happy if it's Michael Fassbender who shows up, or if it's fucking Ian McKellen.
I don't want Ian
Either
McKellen.
way.
I'm scared.
Well, yeah, sure.
You know why? I'm not gonna say why, but I'm scared. I'm scared.
Sure.
But in the same breath, dude, James McAvoy coming through as Professor X,
Yeah.
or Patrick Stewart.
Can I just say
James McAvoy, dude.
I love that the X-Men movies. You know how in your PG-13 you get one use of the F word?
Mhm.
I love that the X-Men movies used it the best fucking possible way in First Class when they're like recruiting students, and then fucking Xavier and what's Magneto's name?
Eric Lyncher,
Eric. Yeah.
Eric.
or Maximoff.
Yeah, Xavier and Eric show up at that bar and walk up to Wolverine. And they're like, "We want to know if you want to be in the school," and he goes, "Fuck off."
Yeah, that was
It's
one of the best
so
cameos, dude.
It's so good. They just go, "Okay," and leave. It's so good.
Now,
Yeah, I would love McAvoy and Fassbender to come back for those roles.
It would be
'cause they're
gold.
Incredible.
it would be gold. But then, I don't want to see Mystique.
Yeah, I'm kind of over that storyline.
They fucked her up, dude. They fucked her character clean up. And I love Jennifer Lawrence. Do not get me wrong. She did a great job being Mystique. But they fucked up the writing on that so bad, bro. Like, she is not a hero.
Oh yeah, sure.
And like, I hated
just reintroduce her as somebody else and do it right.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
We gotta do an episode of how can they do X-Men right. Like, just their failures and how can they make it right.
Yeah.
Don't cast Cyclops as fucking What's the guy that did it in the first 3 movies?
Yeah, I have no idea.
James Marsden. James Marsden.
All the
liked
Cyclopses
his
have been
look.
wrong historically.
James Marsden had the perfect like face. He looked like a chiseled Boy Scout. You know, like
yeah.
But he wasn't big enough.
Cyclops is
big,
like
imposing figure.
Yeah, Cyclops is like the X-Men's Captain America.
He's
a quarterback.
Such a leader.
He's
he's such a badass, but they always fuck him up in the movies. Yep. I don't know why, because I guess they feel like
Army Hammer would be incredible.
Army Hammer.
I don't know who that is, and I have to.
The dude that played the Winklevoss twins in Social Network, or who played Lone Ranger.
I know you're talking about. As soon as you said Social Network, the twins, I know you're talking about. Yeah, he has that look.
Yeah, and voice.
He's like 6'5". He's huge. It'd be perfect. Army Hammer for Cyclops 2022.
And then I don't know, man. There's a lot of X-Men to choose from.
They got to keep. They have. I said this before. They got to keep Storm off rip, dude. She's fire. The girl who plays Storm is great.
Also, I think Deadpool's the perfect movie to actually onboard the X-Men proper.
You think so?
He's been interacting with the X-Men. So how can you have him in and not have Colossus, who's in? You know what I mean? Like what we brought up on the community podcast that I think is fucking hilarious is that Kev said that Deadpool should get like sucked through a hole in the universe and end up in the MCU, and as he's going, he should grab like Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead and like, you're coming with me, and then they boop, and they're just like
Listen, I got emotional in Endgame. The moment Ryan Reynolds is in the MCU, I'm getting emotional. Like the young
wait, man, that's gonna be insane.
The young boy inside of me, the young Derek, he's gonna be so happy.
Thank you for clarifying.
Thank you. The younger
young
me,
boy deep inside me,
the younger me is gonna be so emotionally fulfilled when Ryan Reynolds is inside of the MCU, dude. That's gonna be next level.
Yeah. At least once he needs to talk and be bleeped, and there needs to be a Mickey Mouse like thing that comes over his mouth to bleep his language, and he's like, "The fuck is this?"
That'd be funny.
Boop. What? Why is it boop?
Man, that'd be insane. Yeah.
Can you imagine like Deadpool and Spider-Man in a scene together?
Out there riffing. Yeah.
Just fucking hanging out.
It just makes me sad that Iron Man won't be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I think they've never they've had comedy, but not like on the level of Deadpool comedy. Like Guardians of the Galaxy
Deadpool's
is
like
funny.
Gut laugh funny.
Yeah, like it's actually fucking funny. Like it's actually funny.
Yeah.
Dude, they call it docking.
Dude, when Invisible Man turned out to be fucking Brad Pitt, I lost my fucking mind.
Yeah, that was
This is what's happening.
Dude, that whole scene where like the whole team dies is so morbid but so fucking funny. If there's any dark humor inside of you, it tickles it, dude. Like it hits it right on. It's so fucking funny, dude.
Oh shit, we could get Domino in the MCU too.
Dude.
And Zazie Beetz is fucking great. The potential, man.
It's so good, dude. But you know what? The people who made the Deadpool movie, which I know Ryan Reynolds is one of the people who actually makes it, they did such a good job with creating that universe. They don't get that. Very good. Yeah, they did it pretty flawlessly for 2 movies. You know, like I have no complaints.
None. Yeah.
Even the Juggernaut was solid.
I love the running joke that he has. I love the running joke he has every time he shows up at not Wayne Manor. Every time he shows up at the school. Yeah, he's like, where the fuck is everybody else?
Oh, you know what, dude? That's Deadpool 2 joke. It was just like, he was like, it's like you guys can't afford the cameo. And then like they look behind the door and they close the door real quick. And it's literally everyone. Dude, it's so good. It's so good. All right.
Yeah.
In closing.
WandaVision is going to send them like I was worried about Marvel after Endgame because like what do you do?
Me too.
After that.
Me too.
This feels like the perfect reset. It's like, all right, yeah, I'm down. Let's go.
Would you say so? You think this is the perfect reset?
I do.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, pending, right? We don't know what happens at the end of this show.
Mm-hmm.
But like knowing that this show feeds into a multiverse movie that leads into a Spider-Man with multiple universe Spider-Man in it. This just feels like the best way to escalate what you had before.
Well, let me ask you a question, because we were supposed to get Black Widow before this. Do you think the way it happened is for the best at this point? I mean, we don't know because we haven't seen Black Widow for sure. But do you think that seeing that would have made this less special?
No, I think seeing that would have made me more nervous about this because I have a feeling Black Widow is going to be average as fuck.
Mm-hmm. Mid grade.
Yeah, but also Black Widow has the potential to be really good because Taskmaster rocks and is a Spider-Man villain.
Mm-hmm.
So he could not be eliminated in this, and that's dope.
Well, he's the first guy you fight in the Avengers game, so he's not.
Yeah, and you also fight him in the Spider-Man game, so
yeah, right.
He could be around. Yeah. I'm fine with that. He's Marvel's Deadshot, right?
So you guys, I don't know if you guys are watching the stream, but there's like clips of Wanda looking at the Infinity Stone. That's coming. That's coming back.
What the fuck? Really?
I have to be, dude. She's like staring at the stone. The stone's doing shit. Like the stone is popping, bro. This might be more stone.
Yo, what if the stone is doing this to her to try and survive? It's the fucking Mind Stone.
It's Vision in the stone. I've been saying it for weeks.
Also, Vision has to be actually there because he's realizing that he's not in the right place.
He realizes something is wrong.
Right, because if he was just a manifestation of a dead body, he wouldn't be like, "What's happening?"
But he's like, thought, and he wouldn't have those little shifty eyes at the end of the last episode where he's like,
Do you guys notice that when he puts his arm around Wanda, he looks up past the TV to the camera? Yes, peep that out. Yeah, like he's awesome. Like his eye level raises, like to what he was looking at to the camera. It's insane.
Also, Paul Bettany got fucking big for this show.
Did he?
There's a scene in the beginning of episode 4 where they're like walking down the street and he's wearing like a brown turtleneck, and he's fucking huge. He's cut as fuck. Like that turtleneck is like every time I see Paul Bettany, it's Knight's Tale, scrawny drunkard Paul Bettany. And now it's the Marvel universe.
One of the best things Joss Whedon did was push for Vision. Push for Paul Bettany to play Vision.
Yep.
It gave
his last indelible mark on the franchise.
Yeah.
The worst thing Joss Whedon did was push for Vision's dick to be out.
The best and worst things of Joss Whedon, because that was ridiculous. He wanted a Dr. Manhattan moment.
Yeah, he did.
Which it's not appropriate and not necessary. I like one thing
Disney peen.
Like my grandmother's real prudent, and she says like if there's a sex scene in the movie, it has to move the plot for her to be okay with it. Seeing Vision's dick would not have moved the plot one bit.
No, it would move the plot for some people, but
yeah. Having said that, I'm super excited about tomorrow morning's episode. I will be watching it at 2.
I gotta wait till Kim gets home from work.
Yep. I'm glad Aaron.
I was gonna wait, but I might be awake, and we share Disney, so every time we watch an episode, it's already been watched by somebody else that's on my Disney account.
So she wouldn't know.
Why don't you get more profiles?
No, he's saying Amanda wouldn't know that he
Amanda wouldn't know that I've watched it because every time we've watched an episode, it's already been watched by somebody.
Well, I'm saying like if you have different profiles, you wouldn't have the same.
Yeah.
But
if I had different profiles, I couldn't get away with watching something without my wife.
You're missing the
point. I missed the point there. All right. Well, I enjoyed that. And we're back. Episode 12 of 60 Minute. I almost did it.
60-minute nerdy bit.
60 minute nerdy bit. So
we got a last minute recap. Remember, it's tradition.
Okay.
Tradition.
What are you working on?
Oh yeah.
What do you hope to finish by next episode?
All right. So what I'm working on is I've been doing really good with content lately, and I'm really happy.
Yes, you have.
The TikTok has been growing, which is a weird thing to say, but it is. I'm getting more views and more likes and more followers. The YouTube has been growing. Finally, like I'm getting subscribers with every video. So I think I had a video I put out this morning that had a couple hundred views after 6 hours. So like 150 views after 6 hours. So that's an improvement for my 5 video counts previously. So just trying to navigate that. So before the next episode, I know we do it every 2 weeks. I hope to get more proficient at content and more nuanced in the content I'm making. And upgrading the stream as always. And I'm sorry to keep going, but I don't know a good stream schedule for me yet. And like I'm struggling because I know early morning works, but I have a job, I have a company that I have to run.
Right.
Noon to 4 is literally trash hours. Like
Yeah.
everyone is on watching the big streamers. And then I guess late night, but I'm just having a hard time getting a time that I'm consistent with. So I
Why don't
hope
you stream from like 11 p.m. to 3 in the morning so you can get off and watch WandaVision?
that's not a terrible idea, but honestly, I'm not a night out like you guys. Like, you know.
Sure.
So I got to figure it out, dude.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to keep workshopping it until you find the one that's comfortable and feels best.
Yep.
Workshopping.
Workshop it.
All right. Caleb, go ahead.
Sure. What am I working on now? So I got 2 articles done this week. One's already out. One's coming out
This
Monday.
dude got the Nerdy Bits Fire of Prometheus in his taint this last couple weeks.
Chill the
That's
fuck
awesome.
down. That's not where it is.
You hate
but
to
it's
see it, but you love to hear it.
hate to smell it, but love to see it. So I did that. Those 2 articles. I'm working on workshopping ideas for a couple more starting next week. I've reached out for interview in 5 different places. Reached out to a professor that studies the history of military practice, who's written about video games a bunch. He wrote about Assassin's Creed. I want to talk to him about historical accuracy in games, so I emailed him. Reached out to the creative director of Watch Dogs Legion. Reached out to Rama Ismail, who's a big indie developer, and we're doing an interview with him. That's confirmed. I reached out to the creative director of Far Cry 6, and he also said he wants to do an interview. And there's a good chance I'm getting Jason Schreier's new book, Press Reset, ahead of time, because he tweeted about it today, and I was like, "Yo, I'm a small blog, but I'd love to review it. I'd be honored." And he was like, "What's your email?" Okay, cool. So that's dope.
Very awesome.
And next week I'm interviewing a local St. Louis board game dev about the board game they're making.
/ Pancake Slinger.
/ Pancake artist.
Dan the guy?
Yeah, Dan Drake. Dan Cakes.
Oh.
So yeah, a lot of stuff there. So in the next 2 weeks, just making sure all those things happen, and yeah, maybe trying to get down to work in my office a little more so I can get some video stuff done, because I can't really do that upstairs. But having a month-old kid is a lot of work. So
this is off camera talk. I'm just gonna say real quick. I have the perfect formula for 1-minute news videos.
Oh yeah, you've perfected it over the last.
I have.
Weeks?
Have you seen any? Yeah, have you guys seen any of them?
Yeah. I saw the first one you did. I haven't looked back since.
Oh,
Are you doing it on YouTube and TikTok?
Yeah. Well, no, these are going to Instagram and TikTok.
Instagram and TikTok.
I was gonna say the other day someone said thank you. Thank you for this video.
I love that.
Amazing.
So I'm just gonna say,
awesome.
but I just don't want to.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't want to just do like Apex news. I think we can have something if we do just news, video game news.
Yeah, 100%.
So I'm gonna talk to you about it off stream.
Yeah, we'll do it. Ben, what you got?
God. Oh, I've been busy, man. My schedule's a mess. Today was good. I finished some side work for a friend of mine. I'm doing comic book backgrounds for a comic book, like just backgrounds.
That's awesome.
It's pretty interesting, right? Since people like that about my work. And then I'm doing this big, huge Turtles piece right now that's going to take probably another 20 hours. I'm pretty excited about. Twitter kind of lit me up today. I did a little teaser post of like the lamest thing, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's the Technodrome!" So that's kind of neat. And what else am I working on? I'm working on Void Speed, my Steam game. That's coming right along. Did a lot of progress on that. Tomorrow, Fridays are my Void Speed day. So tomorrow's all day video game dev. So what do I need in the next 2 weeks? I don't know, honestly. I really don't know. I just need to make progress on everything, which I am. I've got a pretty good schedule going on. So yeah, I just need to make progress on everything. I've got a comic I need to finish on my website called Wipeout 2057. I'd love to finish that, but it's not going to happen in 2 weeks. So yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't have a definitive answer. I don't have anything. Let me hold on. Give me a second. What's something I can finish in 2 weeks?
Oh, can I give you a fun fact while you think of the next 2 weeks?
Sure.
So 2 things about WandaVision to wrap the whole thing up. The sword uniforms are navy blue, black, and white. which is already Fantastic Four colors. And 2, cosmic microwave background radiation is what clues Galactus's sense of smell.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So like her doing this and the flare causing the Fantastic Four would also be a reason for Galactus to be like, and come to our
plus with the Eternals and all that shit, right?
Yep.
Maybe we see Galactus get sent on his way, but it takes eons for him to get here or some shit,
Yeah.
Or hundreds of years, I don't know, whatever.
That would be kind of whack though, because like if you're Galactus, bro, you just be able to get to wherever the fuck you want. Like everyone else can travel through the hexagon portals. Remember the Guardians?
Guardians, yeah.
Those are hexagons.
Shit, her bubble's a hexagon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, dude, hexagons are all over the place. Hexagons will play a role. I'm surprised we didn't talk about this at all tonight. Hexagons will play a role in this game. Whether it being like, oh, she's using a hex spell or something about
Hexes, witches, it's New Salem. Holy shit.
So that's a portal to another part of the country.
And it's New Salem.
Yeah.
And the population of New Salem was 666 people, and hexagons have 6 sides.
Mhm.
It's West Haven's New Salem. Fuck. All right, Ben. What's the last? What do you want to do in 2 weeks?
I don't have a goal achievable in 2 weeks. Oh yes, I do. I want to do a weekly YouTube video again.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd like to get Twitch going, but that's sort of unrealistic at the moment. It would be like 1 or 2 days a week tops, but I would like to do weekly YouTube. So my next one's gonna be on how to draw motorcycles. So
Do it, dude. Yeah, did you see my tweet today about how to make it on YouTube?
do a video on how to make it on YouTube.
Yeah, like honestly, like that's literally the advice that everyone gives is like how to make it on YouTube. Make this video. Make a how-to video.
All right, so I have a tweet I'd like to say for the end of the podcast from Dan Slott, the writer currently working on Fantastic Four. Okay.
Like the movie or the comics?
The comic.
Okay.
Anybody have anything else you want to say before the end of the show?
Nope. Let's end it.
Nope. Let's do it.
Want to make me cry? Marvel Cinematic Universe? Show me a story of a pet owner whose dog dusts at the end of Infinity War and then blips back 5 years later.
Oh my god.
Son of a bitch.
I almost cried just now. Just thinking about it, dude.
Oh no.
I don't want to see that though. I don't want that might hurt too much. I might look at Ace and start crying.
We're gonna get it in Hawkeye.
We're
gonna get it in Hawkeye.
Think so?
He's got a dog he takes care of in the Matt Fraction comics, and this one's based off.
Oh, there was an Endgame. I just found out this Easter egg yesterday. When he walks by a doghouse of Sparky.
Oh shit! He walks by the doghouse.
Yeah. So wait, who's Sparky? I think it was Hawkeye. I need to look it up. I sound crazy. I sound like a mad person.
We all do this episode.
But yeah, that's amazing. That's an amazing tweet. And
yeah, Ben Netflix is the Lucky. The dog's name is Lucky.
There's a whole episode or episode. There's a whole chapter book of the Hawkeye book where it's just about the dog. So all his thoughts are in pictograms instead of words. It's great.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Well, next episode we don't know what we're going to talk about, but this is a podcast in which we talk about things in the world of pop culture that we
poop culture
that we like, and we're available on all the outlets that podcasts are available.
Maybe we'll do our X-Men episode.
I like that. I like the idea of X-Men. I could talk about X-Men for hours, but we only do 60 minutes.
We could do a Godzilla and King Kong episode.
That's true too.
I got to do some research for that. I got to definitely
IGN just released a video today of the top 10 Godzilla movie.
And I need to watch at least 3 of those.
Yeah.
I'd be down to do a Godzilla episode because I need to learn more about Godzilla.
He's dope. There's nobody should be voting for King Kong in this fight. Godzilla is the shit.
Godzilla's the shit.
But thank you for listening. If you made it this far, you're amazing, and we love you. And
we appreciate you.
Yeah, and we'll check you out next time.
Bye.
Peace.